21. You never thought you'd get there, did you, huh? The 21st quality of a leader is vision. Vision. John Scully said the future belongs to those who see possibilities before they become obvious. In a book that I wrote in the early 1990s, entitled Developing the Leader Within You, I have an entire chapter on vision. And basically in that chapter, I talk about the fact that vision is the one indispensable quality of a leader. Now let me tell you what I know about vision. Let me tell you what I know about leadership. Just because you have a vision doesn't mean you're a leader. I've had people have all kinds of dreams. Trust me, they weren't leaders. So the vision doesn't make you a leader. But if you are a leader, you will have a vision. That's a fact. Every leader I know has a dream for what they want to become and what they want to help other people become. They have a vision. So let me give you some vision statements that will help you in knowing what your vision is and how to communicate it to others. Number one, vision starts within. People say, where does a vision begin? It always begins within you. A great leader's courage to fulfill his vision comes from passion, not position. The question is not, what do you see? The question is, what do you feel? Because the vision always has passion in it, or it's not a transferable vision. You cannot transfer a vision of tomorrow successfully to anyone else unless you feel the vision deep down inside of you. In other words, a leader must be moved. I, as a leader, must be moved with a vision before I have the ability to move you. Number two, vision is rooted in the past. You have to have the full context of a vision, which basically says people will not go forward until they've connected with the past. Yesterday gives context for today, and yesterday gives reason for tomorrow. So when you're casting vision as a leader, be sure that you have the past in it. In fact, I have discovered that people will not stretch for the future until they've touched yesterday. Give the full context of a vision. Help them to understand that, yes, the future is bright. What is a vision, by the way? The vision is nothing more than a clear picture of tomorrow that creates a passion today. That's what a vision is. And so when you have them stretch out with that clear vision of tomorrow, if it's done correctly, it'll create a passion within a person today. Number three, vision includes others and adds value to them. The law of significance, one is too small of a number to achieve greatness. Again, great leaders take the vision from me to we. The little poem, Indispensable Man, I keep it with me all the time because it just helps me. Sometimes when you're feeling important, and sometimes when your ego's on bloom, and sometimes when you take it for granted you're the best qualified in the room. Sometime when you feel that your going would leave an unfillable hole, just follow this simple instruction and see how it humbles your soul. Take a bucket and fill it with water. Put your hand in it up to the wrist, pull it out, and the hole that's remaining is the measure of how you'll be missed. You may splash all you please when you enter. You can stir up the water galore, but stop and you'll find in a minute that it looks quite the same as before. The moral of this quaint example is to do just the best that you can. Be proud of yourself, but remember there's no indispensable man. Number four, vision helps you to gather resources. This is so true. The vision helps you gather resources. One of the most valuable benefits of vision is that it acts like a magnet, attracting, challenging, and uniting people. It also rallies finances and other resources. The greater the vision, the more winners it has that it attracts to the potential of that vision. The more challenging the vision, the harder the participants fight to achieve it. Edwin Land, the founder of Polaroid, advised, The first thing you do is teach the person to feel that the vision is very important and nearly impossible. That draws out the drive in winners. Common mistake that leaders make. I see this all the time. Remember, we're talking about vision helping you receive the resources. Here's the common mistake that leaders make. Waiting on the resources before they cast the vision. They say, you know what? Before we cast the vision, we better make sure financially we have the resources. Can I tell you something? The vision is always bigger than your resources. If your resources match your vision, you don't have a vision. You with me? It's always a stretch out there. When I go to Washington, D.C., often I go over to the part in the Smithsonian Institute where John F. Kennedy is speaking to the entire Congress, and I think he's speaking to them in 1962, and he's casting the vision that by the end of this decade, he said, we want to put a man on the moon. And I've gone over and watched that, I don't know, 25 times. What makes that such an inspiring speech to me is when he said at the end of this decade, we want to put a man on the moon. I mean, he talked about setting a clear vision. What makes that such an inspiring vision to me was this. When he made that statement, there was not the technology nor the know-how of how to put a man on the moon. But all leaders have the ability to stretch their people, and those resources come. And before the end of that decade, of course, what do? We put a man on the moon. Number 5, a vision that fails to stretch people is an unsuccessful vision. A great vision will grow you before you go. 2 years ago, I shared with my organization, Equip, that we wanted to train, resource 1 million leaders internationally in the next 6 years. Man, I'm telling you, when I made that statement to them, it was like it just caught the whole room on fire. My team looked at me and said, let's try it. Now, here's what I want you to understand. We lacked the strategy when I said it. We lacked the finances. We lacked the people. We lacked the resources. We lacked the contacts. We lacked the experience. A year ago, we launched Million Leader Mandate in Asia, and right now we're training 375,000 people. In April, I go to Africa, and we're preparing to train 400,000 in Africa. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. How do you train 1 million leaders? One person at a time. Too often we stop and we don't pursue our vision because we say, I don't have the resources. Can I tell you something? The moment you stop, the resources stop. Don't make that mistake. Keep moving. Understand that it's in the movement toward the vision that attracts the resources to the vision. A great vision, in your notes, is clear and compelling. Clear enough so that you can see it, compelling enough so you will go for it. So I wrap up this quality of vision by sharing with you the 4 voices of vision that I have discovered in my own life. There's the inner voice, the voice inside of me that asks me questions such as, what do I sing about? In other words, what makes me happy? What do I cry about? What bothers me? What do I dream about? That's the inner voice. That's the voice I try to listen to in creating the vision. Then there's the unhappy voice. I have found that discontent is a great catalyst for vision. The reason I teach leadership is because with 3 college degrees and graduate degrees, I never had a leadership course. I thought somebody needs to teach somebody how to lead. It was the voice of discontent within me that started me on this journey. The 3rd voice I listen to is the successful voice. In other words, when traveling into the unknown, find someone else who knows. The successful voice, the person who's been there before I have and says, John, I think you could do this. And then finally for me, it's the higher voice. the voice that is above myself, above the selfish things that I would want to become, to a voice that tries to lift me beyond that, to becoming a servant leader of others. 21 qualities. Now that you've looked at them, remember this. I know you don't have all of them down. I know that you don't do well on all of them. I know you're not a 10 on all of them. Don't worry about that. Do not worry about that. You see, we do the 21 qualities of leaders so you could just see where you are. On some qualities, you're an 8 or a 9, maybe even a 10. On some qualities, maybe you're a 4, maybe a 3 or a 2. That's okay. That's okay. You see, the value of this lesson, the value of this training is just to help you to evaluate where you are now so that you can make the changes you need to make so that you can advance in your leadership life. It's this way. Though you cannot go back and make a brand new start, my friend, anybody can start from now and make a brand new end. Start from now. Take these qualities, start fleshing them out of your life, and I promise you this, you will become the leader that you really want to be. Thank you very much.